Hey everybody, you're probably wondering what I'm doing with my hair straightener in my kitchen. Well, this one's for food storage. So I want to give you some food storage tips to create your health food savings account, is what I call it. In times where there is a little bit of worry about food prices rising, I want to show you my March Azure standard order. Oh my gosh, it arrived today, and we're drop hosts here in St. George, Utah, and I want to show you what I received this month and also what I'm stocking up on, what was on sale. And when it's on sale, I like to store it in my pantry because these are all food items that Jerry and I love and we use on a daily and weekly and monthly basis. So our food storage never expires. It disappears. So I talk to a lot of friends that are like, oh, I know you guys cook every day, and I love to cook. And it is what transformed my health. I went from a very sick girl in my 20s with heart disease and morbid obesity, a size 22 to a size 2 now, by cooking my way slim and healthy. All the bad stuff went away and all the good stuff surrounds me in my pantry or in my kitchen, what I call my workplace for wellness. But anyway, back to Azure Standard and how I keep a beautiful food storage, a deep pantry. But I use through it before it expires, and I'm going to show you how I make it so that it's really handy and user friendly, because I need quick, healthy meals and delicious, of course. And with all of these organic ingredients that Azure Standard is always putting out sales. Check that sales guide. But I'm going to put the links to everything I have here in the description on this video, and comment below if I missed one or you want more answers on things that I'm doing here. So, and I'm going to show you some free food storage containers that you can get locally. So first things first, pasta. I love their small elbows. I go for the semolina pasta, the organic one, because it's most like organic white pasta that I can get at Costco. But Costco doesn't have all the shapes. And elbow macaroni is a big deal to Jerry and I. We like it to make chili mac or our instant mac and cheese that's dairy-free and totally fat freedom. It has no fat in it. It's so great. We mow that stuff down and stay so slim and healthy. But anyway, 10 pounds. I bought this because it was on sale. Well, I keep this this is a 3-gallon bucket. And it's got a Gama lid on it, and Azure Standard sells these Gama lids now. This one I originally didn't buy from them, but I bought a stack of them when they started carrying them because they were such a good deal. And I put my other macaroni right in there. Well, I've got a bucket of it already, but I want to show you how you can get a free bucket, because I ordered these buckets years ago and they'll last you forever. So you might be like, oh, buckets are expensive, but once you buy them, you have them forever. I suggest taking the label off the package and taping it right on the front. Well, this is my free bucket solution for you. This is a frosting bucket that comes from your local bakery. You could ask them, but Costco. Go to the Costco bakery section and say, do you have any empty frosting buckets? And they throw them away. This one came from there. The only downside is you have to bring them home with frosting in them, because they're frosting their cakes and whatever they're making, all their pastries, and they are leaving them disgusting and throwing them in, or not disgusting, soiled, and throwing them in the trash. So when I get them home, I wash them out. You saw my hydroponics videos. If you haven't, I have a full lesson on bucket hydroponics that I made from Costco free buckets. Check that out. I'll put that in the description. And this is the lid it comes with, and that works just fine. It'll snap on there, but it's not convenient when I want to make whatever it is I'm storing in these buckets. So I got the Gama Lids is what they're called. I'll put a link in the description below for the Azure standard ones. And look at that. Free bucket, fancy lid I bought, but you don't have to do that. You could use the lid that comes with the bucket, just to give you an idea. So that's gonna go into there. Now, if you wanted to store this for long-term storage, up to 3 years on pasta, you could put it in a Mylar bag and buy a bigger quantity. But I'm gonna show you what I put in Mylar bags, and I'll show you why. You get that out of the way. Oh, and I also want to show you how I manage this. So you might be like, well, how do I know how much to make if I'm using a recipe like on protectivediet.com, there's a recipe for kids spaghetti. And it uses a pound of pasta. It's a free recipe. It's under the broth mix recipes. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the description below to this recipe. It shows you how to cook a pound of pasta in your Instant Pot, in your electric pressure cooker. Well, then you want it water to pasta ratio to be even. So, because it absorbs all the water and it's such a great, perfectly cooked al dente pasta. And the way I do it is I take a quart canning jar. This is Azure's quart canning jars. They have beautiful thick canning jars. I love them. Thank you, Azure Standard. And I put them on a kitchen scale and I tear out the jar and then I pour 1 pound. I set it to the pound unit into the jar. And then I put this in my pantry with a plastic lid on it. You could use the lid that comes with the jar. And then when I'm ready to make pasta, I'm not measuring, weighing out a pound of pasta from my bucket. It's ready to go off the shelf. We're talking fast food. That's what this is for Jerry and I on a whole food plant-based diet that we call a protective diet. So then I can just dump it in my pressure cooker with the water measurement that absorbs fully. There's no draining this pasta in this recipe. So that's why I need a precise pound. So if you have recipes that need a precise pound, a quart jar from Azure Standard, 1 pound of pasta goes right to this bottom ring, so I don't even have to weigh it anymore. I know by measuring. You might have one of these vacuum sealers, and it comes with lids with a little valve hole in it. You could put that in there and vacuum seal it if you want to keep it fresher. We go through pasta in this house so fast that this will do. If I wanted to take it longer term storage, I could put it in a bucket with an oxygen absorber. And what this does is it takes out all the air to keep it fresh. But that's not something you want to do and then keep opening and closing. This is for longer term storage. We're talking about like a year or longer. If you're not going to use 10 pounds of pasta in a year, don't order that much. Or store it longer term. I'm going to show you how I do that with my oats. Get this out of the way. Over here, I have 2 50-pound bags of organic oats, oat groats. I make oat flour out of it to make cookies. I use it for many different things. I use oat flour. I also use wheat flour, as you know, but the oat flour, the oat groats, I always have to have those. And this is what I call my health food savings account, because I know the price is going to eventually go up on these things. So I have a full stash, a supply. And what I'm going to do with those is take this Mylar bag and put the oat groats into this bag. And then I'm going to push out all the air I can, and I'm taking an oxygen absorber. You can get these from Azure Standard as well, and drop it in here with my oat groats. Or you could do anything. You could do it with Great Northern white beans. I bought a 25-pound bag because I'm always making those in my Instant Pot too. Garbanzo beans, I bought a 25-pound bag because we have a recipe in Protective Diet Education coming up for chickpea cookies.
Oh, yeah.
Chickpea chocolate chip cookies made with our oat flour. So you can see why I'm running short on those two things. I've been mastering that recipe for you. So in goes the grain out of the paper bag, because the paper bag will inhibit some air. It will keep air in. Then you drop your oxygen absorber in, and then you kind of sit on it, push all the excess air, give it a seal. These have a zipper on them. These are really nice bags from Azure Standard. I'll put the link in the description below. And then I have my hair straightener. I keep this one in my back pantry. And I just go over the top and it seals it. And then within a few hours, you'll see the bag of all the grains. It just like shrink wraps. That's when you know your oxygen absorber did its thing. And the other tip I want to give you, when I buy oxygen absorbers, I buy the ones that are individually wrapped. They come in a bag like this, but they're all individually wrapped so that when you open the bag, you don't have to use them all at once. They're always handy there. Always waiting for my Azure Standard drop day to do a little storage. So then if you put them in a Mylar bag, this is not, it's not critter proof. So if you have mice, or if mice live outside and they find out you're ordering from Azure Standard, you might have new friends move in. This they will chew through to get to the grains or beans or whatever you have in there. So this you would then put into a 55-gallon drum, which Azure Standard has those, and they resell them. They're filled, they make vinegar in them and soy sauce in them, tamari, and all kinds of different things. And we bought some locally, you could search as well, and they were $15 a drum. It was a great deal. So we grabbed up a bunch, put them in the basement where they're out of the way, and then you drop your Mylar bag with the oxygen absorber in it into the drum, and on the outside of the drum, you write what you put in there, so that you know what's in there. You never have to go fishing through. You just go shopping in your health food savings account. That's right. That's how we do it. And then let me show you what else I have here. I have lots of glass jarred tomatoes. I love these. This one is the Bio Nature. It's the
strained tomatoes.
Thank you, Jerry. I love that for pizza sauce. Right in the jar, I put fresh garlic, or you could use their chopped dried garlic from Azure Standard. It's really nice, and a lot of oregano. And I mix that up and I make homemade pizza. And then I have crushed tomatoes for bolognese, plant-based bolognese. Oh, I love it. And then I have diced tomatoes for salsa on the ready, like quickie salsa if I don't want to roast tomatoes from the garden, or if I'm out of freezer tomatoes. The garden, I grow the tomatoes and then I stock them up in my freezer and I put them directly under the broiler and make sauces. But when those are all up, I have these on the shelf, handy and on sale. That's when I buy those. Thanks, Azure Standard. I'll put the link for those in the description as well, so you know exactly the ones I buy. Always additive free, always sugar free and oil free, for a protective diet, to experience what I experienced. That's what I'm eating. Cosmic Crisp, I love you. These are my favorite apples. I look forward to them every year, and they are gorgeous. Thank you, Azure Standard. We got a case of those.
Azure Standard was the only organic resource in our area.
Yes, for Cosmic Crisp this year. We did see these at Costco, but they weren't organic. So we're happy to see you have these for us, because, oh my gosh, the quercetin in the peel of the apple, in the outer layers of the onion, very protective. So you might be wondering, what are you going to do with a case of apples?
Eat them.
We're going to eat them. I put them in salads. We eat them fresh. That's our dessert. Okay. Oh, we put them in apple cake. Sheet pan apple cake. Sugar-free. Oh my gosh.
There's an apple crisp recipe we do.
More fresh grapefruit. This is our second case this year. Last month we had the Cara oranges. They were so spectacular. And someone ordered them that I knew, a friend of mine, ordered them earlier in the season, and she said they were okay. Ours were spectacular. So they get riper. So if you get citrus fruit, don't judge it on the first day. If it's just okay, let it ripen up. Sometimes they're picked just slightly underripe. They do ripen, just like a tomato on the windowsill. Same thing will happen with your citrus. So give it a chance. And it's so fresh. I think that might be it. So I wanted to show you with my oat groats. This is my oat groat buckets, and it's got a label on here, and this label was put on here 5 years ago. So every time I run out of oats, I then go and get a Mylar bag of oats. That's why I have 2 bags here. One bag's going in the bucket, one bag is going in my longer term storage. And then same thing with my beans. I keep them on that back canister shelf. That's what I'm using on a daily basis or a weekly basis. I don't eat the same beans every day. I cycle through them because I have such an outstanding collection because of the varieties on Azure standards in their warehouses. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. I'm eating spectacularly. Oh my gosh.
And what about the soap?
Oh, I forgot about these goodies I'm trying this month. I always try a new product every month, and so I can share a review with you. So if you're interested in a review on this Dr. Jacobs Naturals plant-based rich Castile body wash, lavender essential oil, comment on this recipe, and I will share with you a review in my next video. If people aren't interested, I'm not talking about it. Come on, you guys, engage with me. Let me know. And like and subscribe to this channel if you're an Azure Standard customer so you can see the things that I favor that have brought me such health and wellness, and Jerry too, and our community in protective diet. So this one is Dr. Bronner's, my tried and true. I tried the Azure Standard Castile soap. I'm hungry. I got soup on the brain. I got lots of new ingredients to make soup. But this is just my tried and true. I like the Azure Standard Castile soap as well, but I just stock them all. I think that's everything. Is that everybody? That's everybody. Oh, Durham wheat. I've got a 50-pound bag of Durham wheat here, and that's to go into a Mylar bag and into my drum. Steel drum to keep the little critters out of it, and with a oxygen absorber, and the hair straightener, just like I showed you, because I already have a bucket of this. And the Durham wheat, you might be like, what are you using that for? Because I don't use that to bake bread. No, I use that to make homemade pasta. And I'm going to be teaching my protective diet education students online how to make homemade lasagna sheets this month, and how to make homemade hand-rolled pasta of all different shapes, because this would be an incredible long-term storage staple, because I bake bread every day, but pasta, we have fun making it, and lasagna, oh, you can't be beat. And this cuts costs dramatically. Durham wheat is what they make semolina pasta out of. Semolina flour is ground Durham wheat, and I'm using it in its whole wheat form, unlike this pasta. This pasta is what I call my fast food. This pasta is called my health food. This isn't going to be a negative on your health. No, sir. This is organic wheat, but it definitely doesn't contain the germ. It doesn't contain the spermidine that promotes cellular recycling or upcycling. You might have heard this word autophagy, and that is the miracle of our body, how we're designed. So when a cell is unused proteins, like the excess skin that was on me because I was carrying around a lot more than some women carry as a baby, and they're like, oh, is the skin gonna ever go away? Well, it does go away, but we need to eat specific foods in variety, like whole wheat. That's why I use my mill back there to mill my wheat and keep the germ and have the protective spermidine that's in there to promote this skin tightening and the health of my mitochondria, the powerhouse of all of our cells. Oh my gosh, there's so much beautiful medicine in the food we eat when we choose these beautiful whole plant foods that we were given by God to keep us healthy, well. And thank you, Azure Standard, for delivering these all the way to us, because I can't find anything like this in my area. I'm so grateful. We are so blessed. Take care.
And best of health.